even vibe coding if you don't got 9 Claude Max subscriptions ready and running? Now here's what I've done. Some of y'all been asking me, Fawn, how do you run 0 employee companies? Well, let me tell you something, buddy. It's not easy. You gotta have the right tools for the job. Now here's what I do. I've got 9 terminals with 9 instances of Claude Code running, each working on subtasks. Now, you can also do this with root code, cursor, any other real solution. But here's why I like this method. I use a mixture of tools. Now, you might have heard mixture of agents, right? Great breakthrough DeepSeek did. And it really is to just give these agents subtasks at the end of the day. So your workflow should look quite similar to that. Now, this is a huge repo or project, right? Spans about 20 repositories, right? Probably definitely more than 10,000 lines of code. It's much more than that. So how do you manage that whole thing? Here's what I like to do, and that's a mixture of tools. Now, my go-to tools right now are root code, it's for and Claude Max with the joiner. Right? Now, you can also use Cursor, although Cursor gets quite expensive, and that's why I'm not using it right now. But my IDE is still Cursor, and I also use VS Code sometimes. I run one massive instance of root code with Orchestrator right here. Now, there's this also special GitHub plugin called the Root Commander, which gives you access to hundreds of modes, and I do use that, although I don't use the modes themselves. I use all the documentation and setup it gives me. Now, within each of these, I'll have a Claude configuration, a Cursor configuration with a bunch of rules, your GitHub, a Root configuration with a bunch of rules, Root that basically has tasks and analysis and templates and workflows, and this could become a really long video, so I'll try to keep it short. Anyways, that instance of root code that I'm running on my custom configuration right now, which uses Gemini 2.5 Pro with certain levels of condensing context and whatnot, at cost at API, I use that to one-shot the entire code base into very, very detailed spots. So we get one massive file, and when I say massive, I mean a massive file. Now, this one just opened right here in this tiny window here, which I'll get rid of, but this alone was about 1,500 lines of just architecture design, and I have another one that's about 7,000 or 10,000 lines. This root instance with Orchestrator and all the subtasks basically one-shots a massive file, an MDTM file, which can be generated automatically if you install the root commander plugin within all of your workspace. Now, that creates this massive context space that goes into finite detail and analysis onto every line of code, every potential improvement, security risk, future to get it production ready, scaling issues. It goes really deep into everything. From there, I ask it to split it into 9 to 12 pieces for different Claude Code instances to handle, and I give those chunks of context with this entire file, with the special lines to each instance, and each instance works on its own thing separately and manages its own stuff. Now, when there's areas where files have dependencies with each other, of course, it'll read context from the main monorepo, but the goal is to minimize that as much as possible and have it work on select parts specifically in that. And because of this, my productivity has gone up quite a bit. I don't know, about 80 to 100 commits a day, honestly. And it reduces that AI slop that you get and keeps things much, much more organized. So that's how I'm running things right now.